Hey everyone, and welcome to PGN Live. It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, and we've got a lot of things to go over today. My timing is going to be a little bit funny though, because I have a couple of things that I've got to do, yet I'm not sure what time those things are going to start. So we might be able to go a little longer, or it could end up being cut slightly short. But hopefully, we have a good stream. That's the one thing I'm sure of. We're going to have a good time because we've got a lot of topics. But hopefully, we have enough time to go over everything. If not, we may have to do another stream later in the day to expand on the topics. I'll let you know. Let me get the pop-out chat rolling, though. Yeah, some days we just have a lot of stuff to go over. Today's just one of those days. It's pretty exciting. Let's see, who is here? We've got Crazy Scoth in the house. Hey there, KongDonk69, hello. Crazy Scott asking, was there an Xbox Developer Direct today? It's actually about to start. It's in 3 minutes. So that's kind of one of the things that we could be looking at. Steak1024 is saying, hey, Paul and chat. Microsoft Developer Direct. Any Switch 2 logo predictions? I would be pretty happy if we got a confirmation of either Gears of War, the Rare 35th Anniversary Collection, Rare Replay. Was it 35 years for that one? Well, Rare Replay, anyhow. Or Halo Campaign Evolved. One of those three things popping up today would be super cool. What is also super cool, woo, getting us closer to 400 again, is Ash Gaming 17. Right off the bat, early in the stream, with a super cool, generous $10 contribution, gifting 10 memberships. Big thank you, Ash. Holy smokes. Ash gifting memberships to War Scene 84, Patrick Lucas, Lazar V, Nintentalk, Your Dad Willard, No Bra Bra, 16, Kingston, Omer Star Gamer YT, Spencer Stott, and T Just T. Huge thank you, Ash. Getting us going early on. I appreciate that. I have this volume low, by the way. We'll see if you're interested in it or not. I don't know. I would also like to go over... I mean, we've got a lot, like I said, to go over today. And unfortunately, my time might be limited. I have a couple of things that I'm waiting on. And I'll have to go eventually. It's just... will we have enough time for the hour? Or have to move the stream into a second stream later? I don't know yet. I don't know. But Ash, thank you once again. Super awesome of you. Oh. What else do we have? That threw me by surprise. After I was answering Steak's questions about the Developer Direct. War Scene is here. Pokemon Fan 34 is here. Let me see. Catching up. Game Freak gonna have a Switch 2 logo? LOL. I hope so. I forgot if we have a date for Indy. I don't think we have an Indiana Jones date yet. J-Biggs, Mr. NY for Life is here. Welcome. Here we go. "25 years of Xbox. Watch, we get a Xbox original games coming to Nintendo Switch Online along with your Xbox Duke big controller or the Xbox Type S Slim controller available for Nintendo Switch 2. That'd be kind of funny. That'd be kind of funny. So we could talk throughout this. It doesn't have to just be a watch along. You know what I mean? That's a lot of 18 plus logos and stuff covering the board. So we're gonna get some mature rated content. Bring back the Duke. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I can't do a second. Hold on, let me see if I could do this. I want to try something. Will this work? It will. Okay. That covers that though.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
I'm experimenting where to put this. Because in case some of you don't really care about the Xbox Direct much, I could still read and go over the video game sales conversation.
Look at Forza Horizon 6.
You know?
I'm Torben Earth, design director for Forza Horizon, and I can't wait to show you what the teams at Playground Games and Turn 10 have been working on.
And I'm Don Arcetta, art director for Forza Horizon. The Horizon Festival is a celebration of beautiful cars, hit music, and breathtaking locations around the world. And now we're taking you to the place we've wanted to visit for a very long time: Japan.
We designed a campaign that really focuses on your journey. You don't start as a
Okay.
superstar of the festival or a racing champion or
Let me read some more chat, and then let's go over some of the possibilities of how we could handle today's streams, because this isn't just a watch a direct together kind of stream. This is a regular PGN live with conversing on video game topics and going over news and all that kind of stuff. And the audio level of the direct will either get in the way or complement what we have. Right now it's on the lower side. Let me know if you want it even lower, muted possibly, or cranked up. Let me get to chat though, and then we'll continue. Charlie Smith is here. Hannibal just beat Metroid Prime 4. Any suggestions on what I should play next? I'm heading to GameStop to find something. Hannibal, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Street Fighter 6, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Hades 2, Split Fiction, all top-notch games. J-Biggs is hoping for Gears of War, Doom Dark Ages, and Halo Switch 2 logos. That'd be great.
Japan is the ideal location for our biggest.
Scream if there's Conquer. That'd be cool. Small Little Man, hello. Brian Stitt, hi there. I would rather a 360 controller than the Duke. That was the reason why I never really used your Xbox.
Diverse biomes, seasonality.
Yeah, the Xbox 360 controller was quite good.
Elevated by Japan's
I would love to try Gears of War 2. I'm so excited for Final Fantasy VII Remake for the Nintendo Switch 2, yes. Oh, that's another great one right there. Speaking of games to check out. I also want better ways to play 007 and Perfect Dark on Switch than those N64 versions. Well, control-wise, you've got to either use the Pro Controller or Pro Controller and modify in the settings what to do with it, or yeah, classic N64 controller. But you mean like higher fidelity and frame rate and stuff? I know what you mean. Let's see. Forza we got here. Should we stream the other stuff later and watch the direct? I mean, oh, it's kind of going on right now. The volume is low enough, but we could do both, either or. I don't know. Kind of depends on what y'all want to do. Super Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition is coming March 26th. Yeah, and see, like, that's kind of some of the stuff that I have up here that I would like to continue talking about, and I have the images of the Amiibo and all of that. So I think we could do a little bit of everything today. Is my Switch 2 an Xbox? Kind of. Man, a lot of Nintendo stuff is happening this morning. Yeah. Even though I don't care about FF7, Dreamcast guy is back to his nonsense. He's complaining about the Nintendo Switch 2 version using a keycard for praise of the Steam Deck version. Dude, I have the PlayStation 5, call it that, version of Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade, and that's set up on my HDMI port on my TV, and I have my Nintendo Switch 2 version of FF7 Remake Intergrade on a different HDMI port on my TV. And last night I played both versions and switched between, and I'm like, dude, when you're playing 17 feet away, you're sitting on your couch and you're just enjoying the game, the difference is negligible. Yeah, if you look up close and if you move around and if you're looking at every little texture and resolution bit, you can see that the PS5 version is running at a higher frame rate and a resolution and I guess frame rate and stuff like that, but gosh, it's like Street Fighter 6. It doesn't impact at all the game. The sacrifices aren't worth complaining at all. It's really good looking and better than really good looking. Like really, really good looking. It's not great looking and garbage. It's not amazing and trash. It's awesome and slightly more awesome. That's the reality. Hey Paul, y'all. Hey y'all, we talk about Circana sales? Yep, I'm getting there. I'm still catching up the chat, but yeah, Joycey, soon. JM Powers, hello Paul and everyone else. I may have said this yesterday. Yes, you said that, got that. About the New York Yankees, that's cool. Cody Bellinger. Did Switch 2 sell most in US in December? Yes, Sweet Tea, that's me, it did. Yes, there's a direct today. We're watching it at the moment. What I meant about GoldenEye is the perfect dark version that came out on Xbox 360. Yeah. Okay, still at work, so going to listen-only mode. Okay, Crazy Scott. Alrighty, so. How is this volume, by the way? Do you actually want me to mute it? And then bring back the audio when something is like super exciting, or you're all like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Or should I just lower it a little bit more? Let's see. How about we do a little lowering of the volume? What does that sound like? Is that okay? Okay. By the way, if this is distracting right here, like right now I have the Blue Sky Matte Piscatella Circana part up, I can move it off to the side so you don't see it. You don't really need to see it, you just need to hear it. But if you want to see it, that's why it's here for context, as I scroll and such. But if not, I can move it off screen and then make it bigger, more available for me, whatever, you know. Yvonne Francois, by the way, is here. Johan Nintendo is here. Okay, let's go over the first normal topic. We've got the Xbox Direct running. If anything really piques our interest, we could raise the volume and talk about it more and go like, right? Right now, Forza. Looks cool, but nothing mind-blowing at the moment, I suppose. All right, let's get into the business, though. Plain and simple, easy answer to the question. What was the best-selling console of the month of December in the United States? It was, drumroll please, Nintendo Switch 2. So, Nintendo Switch 2 won first place in the month of June, July, August, September, October, got second place in November, and got first place again in December. So, 6 out of the 7 months that it was available in the United States, with June not being an entire 6 months, right? Or not an entire month, correct? Came out June 5th. 6 out of the 7 months it was available, it got first place in terms of hardware sales. November, it got second, but not bad, just second. In June, after only 25 days of availability, it was the second best-selling console of the whole year. In July, after just a month and 3.5 weeks or so of availability, it was the best-selling console of the entire 2025. That only continued to rise in August, September, and October. And even in November, when it sold second, it still held on to that number one best-selling console of the year mark. Tsukino Ame, by the way, hello there. Regamis, our beautiful industry leader. Heck yeah. Published too. Xbox Developer Direct is live. Yes, it is, and we are watching it. Now, importantly, not only did the Nintendo Switch 2 sell the best in December, but it also had the most amount of money that it brought in. So what that means is Nintendo Switch 2 isn't the most expensive selling console. So it could be the best selling in terms of units, but if PlayStation 5 was close enough and sold quite a bit, but it's at $500, PS5 could have generated more money, right? Nintendo Switch 2 sold enough over its second place competitor being PS5 that it also generated the most amount of money. It had the most amount of dollar sales, okay? This was something that was always interesting in the generation previously, where Nintendo Switch was more affordable than PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, kind of, when you think of Nintendo Switch Lite in there. And not only did it sell the most amount of units, but it generated the most amount of dollar sales, too. Very important. Nintendo Switch 2 is closer to that $500 mark, typically, of PS5 and Xbox Series X, which actually cost more now with the tariffs and such. So, very impressive, though. It was the best-selling device in 2025 for the whole year, despite being out for technically a little bit less than 7 months. Matt Piscatella further breaks things down and gives us some interesting little bits of news, like Nintendo Switch 2 is outpacing the original Nintendo Switch by about 2-1 for these first 7 months aligned. That's really impressive. Nintendo Switch was a fast seller. NS2 is topping that, okay? Nintendo Switch 2 is also the fastest selling video game console in history as far as designated home-based console, and I'll get to that specification. What that means is, in this first 7 months aligned, no other system has ever sold as many units in the United States in its first 7 months than Nintendo Switch 2. With the exception of, asterisk, Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance wins the overall fastest selling console ever in 7 months. Not just portable console, but pure console in any capacity. Whereas Nintendo Switch 2 specifically wins the home console title of fastest selling ever. Let's see. Let me get to a couple of comments. Grace Requiem asks, "Hi, Paul. What do you expect to see in this Direct? I wasn't aware there would be one." Well, we got Forza, to start off with. We're getting Game Freak now. But what else do I expect? Well, expect / possible wishful thinking. Expect, I think, we'll get a little bit more on Halo and Gears of War. Hope is that Halo and Gears of War end up coming to Nintendo Switch 2 with a little logo. And then, like, wishful thinking is, dude, give me something more from Rare. Give me something more from my beloved Rare. I know Perfect Dark was canceled, but man, would I blow up if there was a Banjo-Kazooie that was shown, or a Conquer or something like that? Dude, it would be wild. Killer Instinct. I hold a special place in my heart for that old school Rare stuff. But we could see Call of Duty, we could see Starfield, we could see another Doom or a Wolfenstein. There's a lot of potential. I don't know yet. But those are some thoughts. Oh no, Nintendo is doomed. This is a dark age because Switch 2 only was number 1 6 out of 7 months. It's like Wii U falling apart. Definitely not. Mark Lu, it lost November, guys. It's over. Nintendo is doomed. Right? Come on now. Charlie Smith, hey Paul, do you think they'll announce anything for Switch 2 at the Direct? I think something will show up today. I think we'll get something in this Direct with a Switch 2 logo. Yeah. Mario Bros. Switch 2 edition. Yeah, coming out in March, a little bit after Mario Day. And we're going to go over that too. Let's see. I could care less how many consoles Nintendo sells as long as I get a Switch 2 in all the first-party games. So I want Nintendo Switch 2 to sell a lot. Because the more successful the system is, the more money Nintendo makes. The more they make, the more they put into higher quality games. The more they're willing to experiment with smaller games that don't necessarily have to make a lot of money because they're making money elsewhere. The more amount of fans that are circulating and talking about Nintendo increases the likelihood of IP continuing to thrive and there being a need for Nintendo to push partnerships with Lego and Levi's and new movies and TV shows and theme parks and stuff like that. So for me, I want it to sell well because it all bodes well for us in the end. Game Freak makes games for Xbox. Game Freak is making this title for Xbox. And we'll see if it comes to Nintendo Switch 2 or not. John Castle, Halo for Switch 2, yeah. Great Pokemon Fan 34 wants to see Conquer. Graceful Requiem would like to see Retro, or Rare also. Should Nintendo buy Rare? So Nintendo owned about 49.5% of Rare or so up until like 2002. Then Nintendo sold Rare its stock back to themselves, and then Microsoft made the full acquisition for like 195 million or 495, yeah, like 400 million, 385. I forgot the number at the moment. But in my gaming history segment, I did say how much it was exactly. Just right now, I'm spitting off the top of the dome. I'm like, close to 400 million, if I'm not mistaken. How was FF7R on Switch 2 for me? It was awesome, dude. I loved it. It was so fun last night replaying it. It was so good. I even switched between like HDMIs for the Nintendo Switch 2 and PlayStation 5 versions of the game. NS2, it's killing it. It's fine. It's great. Nintendo be like, say goodbye to $80 games and say hello to my little $80 friends. Oh, $60 games. I'll say hello to 80. Nintendo is doomed. Definitely not. Nintendo is dominating. It's Nintendo domination right now. It's Nintendo domination right now, folks. Speaking of Nintendo domination, you know what game Nintendo dominated? Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. What do I mean by domination? No, it wasn't the #1 best-selling game of the month in the United States for the month of December. But it was the 7th best-selling game, right behind Pokemon Legends ZA. And you're like, well, 7 and place number 6, is that good? Don't forget, these games don't include digital sales. So with the likes of Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, NBA 2K, Battlefield 6, Madden, those are physical and digital. Pokemon Legends ZA showing up at 6, Metroid Prime 4 Beyond showing up at 7, Donkey Kong Bonanza in 9th place, Kirby Air Riders in 18th place. These games, Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 in 19th place, these games don't include the digital sales from Nintendo. So Metroid Prime 4 Beyond being 7th from when it released on December 4th through the 31st means in 27 days it sold enough to be the 7th best-selling game of the month, not including its digital sales. Do you remember around mid-December when I said that the Japanese sales only make up for less than 5% of the game's total sales, so this thing is already at over 1 million. This is what I was talking about. Now there is a report out there from Matt Piscatella from the Circana group that corroborates that. So there you go. But the internet said I must be mad at anything Nintendo does. You know what the internet also says? Because PGN's on the internet. Don't let fear-mongering get to you. Nintendo's doing well. Nintendo's doing great. And that's why this is the side of the internet that you should believe in. The lady from Game Freak, Takan, said, we learned from our experience with the Pokemon series, Mario Bros. Wonder Switch 2 edition is expensive in Sweden. Sweden is 900 krona. Tabby Cat Games is here. Hello, hello. Publish your argument that Nintendo over succeeding leads to better things for gamers can fall apart if you look at Pokemon. Nintendo doesn't make Pokemon games, though. Their insane success has just led to more mediocrity. So, Publish 2, Nintendo doesn't make Pokemon games. Game Freak does. Game Freak is the developer in which they are a part of the grand scheme being the Pokemon Company, and they're the developers of the Pokemon games, not Nintendo. Pokemon even being mentioned on an Xbox thing is weird because console wars times it would have been, don't talk about games you've done for other consoles. That's true, it's true. Let's get back to some of these charts. How well is Nintendo Switch 2 doing? Well, not only is it selling twice as fast as Nintendo Switch, but it's 35% faster than PlayStation 4, which was the previous fastest selling console in the US. Home console, right? Game Boy Advance still takes the overall title. December really did well, kind of make it up for a little bit of a lower November. Folks were saving their money, holding on to the money. We always freaking know that December is Nintendo territory. Nintendo makes up so much of their overall yearly sales in the last 3 months of the year. More so in the last 2, but especially in the last 1. December is the biggest month for Nintendo. Doesn't Nintendo own a third of Pokemon? Yes. The Pokemon Company is made up in thirds by Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures Inc., in which Nintendo does own a portion of Creatures Inc. and Game Freak. So you could call Nintendo an overall owner of the IP. Paul, have you enjoyed the FF7 Intergrade on Nintendo Switch 2? Yes, Michael S. Powell. I was playing it yesterday, and it's so cool. Like, the music, the combat, the characters. I love that game. Thing we won't get new things that actual fans want if Nintendo isn't forced. Nintendo continues to just be amazing every generation, you know? I've never been disappointed with Nintendo in a gen. And people say, well, what about Wii U? Wii U was slower. Wii U had some greater gaps. But going back, I can't deny that I had fun with Pikmin 3, Super Mario 3D World, Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, Nintendo Land, you know, remaster / remakes, whatever you want to call them, of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, and getting titles like Injustice and Tekken Tag Tournament and Batman Arkham City. And eventually, don't forget, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, even though I played it on Nintendo Switch. But also Paper Mario, okay. And Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. Like, Nintendo's Wii U system still had plenty of great moments. And so for those 4 years and 4 months, I had a great time. And the Wii U gamepad is the only TV remote controller that I have never misplaced. That thing was the best TV remote controller of all time. The Switch 2 is going up in price because of the RAM prices. I'm glad I got mine already. It might. They haven't announced yet There is a couple of possibilities to keep it at the same price. If you had to be safer, you could say, thanks to RAM prices going up, maybe around that 20 millionth, 25 millionth Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo is going to have to now pay more and thus have to sell it for more so they don't lose money. But in a world where Nintendo is over succeeding in how many pieces of software they're selling, merchandise, Amiibo, folks going to see the Super Mario Galaxy movie, etc., 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 it's entirely possible that that's making up enough that they don't have to raise the price. Or that NSO goes up a little bit, right? So we'll see. Okay. Let's see. What else do we got? I said some of this earlier. Yeah, Nintendo Switch 2 leading the market in both unit and dollar sales in December, helping offset year-on-year declines across other platforms. PlayStation 5 plays second in both measures, as I mentioned before. Nintendo Switch 2 at over 4.4 million in sales. Freaking nuts! Awesome! Nearly double the install base of the original Nintendo Switch on a time-aligned basis. How fantastic is that? Matt here is talking about his Game Boy Advance correction, which, yeah, that's one of the things that I highlighted earlier as well. I'm sure Nintendo has got a lot of stock already made before the prices of RAM went up. Yeah, I know that they've got some. How much did they already buy, prepaid for, etc.? And how much further along could that contract be for that same price going forward? We don't know. We don't know. I couldn't get my Wii U iPad thing to be a TV remote. I don't think my TV supported it. It was a good feature. Okay. By the way, thank you all for being here. We've got 34 people watching in these first 31 minutes of the stream. We already have $10 on the board. Big thank you to Ash for contributing, getting 10 new members up in here. I told you today was going to be a big day. And we've got 23 likes. Heck yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay, hold on. Let me get to one more piece of chat, and then let's go into... the hardware and software sales in Japan. And by the way, if anybody else donates, not that you have to, but if anyone else does, I will move this down so that your name goes up there right alongside Ash's, okay?
I've spent my career as a concept artist, focused on coming up with unique characters and environments at Double Fine.
The Napoleonic Wars Redux. How well do you think GTA 6 will do on the Nintendo Switch 2? Oh, geez. 7.5, 10, 15, 25 million.
I stumbled on the answer one day. What better solution than
If Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out day and date on Nintendo Switch 2, alongside PlayStation 5, Xbox Series versions, I think Grand Theft Auto 6 is
you're not capable of much in this state. Thankfully, you are
a 20 million seller on Nintendo Switch 2.
is the perfect place for the creation of a new body.
Because you gotta figure,
Time for destruction, those shapes needed to
Rockstar Games is going to make GTA 6 work well, because they have to, on the Xbox Series S. Xbox Series S is overall a little bit under Nintendo Switch 2. In some ways it pushes a little more, but in more ways than not, especially with DLSS, Nintendo Switch 2 is a more capable console. Therefore, you gotta expect, if Grand Theft Auto 6 comes to Nintendo Switch 2, maybe it ships with its own micro SD express card. Whatever they do, however they do it. Or just takes up a massive, install size. And it's noted that, hey, you need 200 gigs of space or something, right? What have you. The game's going to sell bonkers on the system. You're going to have it running nicely on the TV and portably, take it anywhere. $80 game, $90 game, doesn't matter. That thing will be a 20 million seller. Best case outcome is that their contracts last long enough for RAM prices to stabilize, but that's not likely. Yeah, I see what you mean on that one. AJ Rack 0440 is here. Welcome, everyone. Quiet Lion Gaming. Hi, Paul and everyone. Glad to see Switch 2 continue to do well. I primarily buy all my games on Switch 2. Definitely my favorite system. Yeah, it's a fantastic system. I agree. GTA 6 better come to Switch 2. How much did Cyberpunk sell on Switch 2 so far? Does anyone know? We don't know that yet, but we know it's been doing well. It keeps popping up on eShop sales. It's popped up here and there on Amazon. Doing fine. Switch 2 and PC is a good combo for gaming. That's a good combo for gaming. All right. I'm talking fast because, like I said, I don't know at what time I'm going to have to go. If I have to do another stream later to cover it, I will. But I really wanted this morning's stream to be epic. And it started off epic with freaking going over the Circana report. And what a good report it was, you know? But let's move on. This now is going to occupy a little time. This time right here, I should say, is going to be a little Japanese segment where we're going to go over the hardware and software data in Japan brought to us by Famitsu. This is coming from installbaseforum.com. Sometimes I use this site. It's nicely laid out. One of the users over there, Chris1964, does a good job putting together everything in a nice, clear way. Let's go over these sales. This is from January 12th through January 18th. Okay? In first place, the best-selling game of the week was Animal Crossing New Horizons Nintendo Switch 2 Edition, which did 31,372 copies. In second, Mario Kart World, moving 17,639. In third, the Nintendo Switch version of Pokemon Legends ZA, that did 9,990. In fourth, Animal Crossing New Horizons on Nintendo Switch, that did 9,047. In fifth, Nintendo Switch 2 version of Pokemon Legends ZA, moving 8,560 copies. So right there, you've got like Animal Crossing and Mario Kart World and Pokemon and like every other kind of way. They're doing well. They're selling well, both the Nintendo Switch 2 editions and the other versions, including Animal Crossing getting a bump up from this 6-year-old title nearly. Very cool. In sixth, Momotaro Dentetsu 2, Nintendo Switch 2 edition, which moved 8,415 copies. In seventh, Momotaro Dentetsu 2 on Nintendo Switch that did 8,070. In eighth, Kirby Air Riders on Nintendo Switch 2, which sold 7,942 units. In ninth, Minecraft on Nintendo Switch, which moved 5,465 copies. And in 10th place, Donkey Kong Bonanza on Nintendo Switch 2, which did 4,966. That's a lot of software in the top 10. I'm very curious next week, how will Final Fantasy VII Remake do? Final Fantasy used to be synonymous with Nintendo on the Famicom and Super Famicom, NES and Super NES. FF7 was a big departure, a big no-no move between Squaresoft and Nintendo. Left some bad blood in the water. Handshakes were made, things leveled out, and eventually, on GameCube, we got Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Crystal Chronicles. And on Wii, we got Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles, the Crystal Bearers. And between Wii and Wii U, you did have access on the eShop to purchasing old classic Final Fantasy games like FF6 and such. We have Theater Rhythm Final Fantasy on the likes of Nintendo 3DS. You had Chrono Trigger ported to the Nintendo DS. So things ended up coming around. Nintendo Switch had Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition. It had Final Fantasy 7, 8, and 9 digitally on the system. But this is a big new entry, And even though in some cases you're like, dude, it's like 5.5 years old, is that really new? Well, back to the more truer form of new, right? And it's a big deal. It's a big culturally significant deal in the video game industry for FF7 Remake to come to Nintendo Switch 2. And knowing that FF7 Rebirth is on the way, and they confirmed that Final Fantasy VII Part 3 is coming, and that both Rebirth and the third one will, for the most part, be totally on par with the other versions. And they can't get into specifics now, but we're not going to see some big jarring omission in the Nintendo Switch 2 versions of these games. And I think that is awesome. The game's not exactly new, though. It's been out in Japan for a while on PS4 and PS5. Yet Japan's leading platform by far has been Nintendo Switch and now Nintendo Switch 2. So, how will a several-year-old game fare in Japan on NS2? I am excited to see. That's going to be next week's big point to check out come Thursday. Let's move into hardware sales, though. In hardware, the best-selling console of the week was the Nintendo Switch 2, with 67,509 units. That's a lot. No holiday around it, just here's a week, a few weeks after the holidays, 67K. In second place, 27,234 units went to Nintendo Switch. Who has said, as long as a system's selling 20,000 a week, that's 80,000 a month. That's close to 1 million a year in just Japan alone, which is going to equate to a few million a year worldwide. Who has said for the longest time, as long as this continues, why would Nintendo cease production of the console? Therefore, there's nothing stopping Nintendo Switch from hitting 160 million. Unless if it's Nintendo that says, nope, we're done. We're good at like 158, whatever. We're going to open up more manufacturing lines and stuff like that and take the time it takes to make NS and then just shift that into making more NS2s. Not necessarily, as long as there's a profit to be made. Some games that will come out, freaking Mega Man, drop it on Nintendo Switch in 2027 when the system is going to be 10 years old. Dude, it's not going to sell 160. It can't. Man, you don't know numbers. Shh. Let the analysts talk. Not to any of you, but to some folks. Some people are like that. I'm like, dude, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. Man, feels good to be right. Feels good to be right. Okay. Let's move on to the next point of topic. This one I'm letting the volume overtake. Hold on. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take over the Xbox stream for a moment. Did you all see who Mario was looking at? That was announced today. Brand new Lego Mario Kart edition, being this time Luigi. That's pretty cool. We already had Lego Mario Kart drop in 2025, but now Mario's getting his brother to join him, Luigi. Pretty cool, right? That's another thing that came out today. I had to take over the Xbox thing for a bit. All right, let me get to some comments. Dang, I feel like I'm on it today. I'm reading the chat. I've got a video running. I'm doing sales. Moving on to the next sales topic. Boom. Having a Mario Kart segment. We got 10 in the super chats or in the gifted memberships. We are spitting fire. Okay, let me see. Cyberpunk, great deal. Yeah, that $17 great deal steak, that's true. Quiet Line and Gaming, you got it for $17. That's a good move right there. I just said whoever bought Cyberpunk on Switch 2 will buy GTA 6 on Switch 2. Yeah, that's a pretty good assessment. I mean, there's probably some decent crossover there. My combo is Switch 1, Wii, not gonna lie, playing Twilight Princess. That's a great game. Teams added to Knockout Tour. Yeah, Mario Kart World just had Knockout Tour stuff added today. That's cool. New team-based stuff. Animal Crossing New Horizons is not going to stop selling. Another 20 million copies, 100%. I mean, we know that there will eventually be another Animal Crossing game, but when? The earliest I could see it is like March next year. Letting this New Horizons update build some more hype, do some more sales, but then before too long, drop the next title, which would be 7 years after Animal Crossing. That's the earliest. I'm not saying next year, March, but that's the earliest I could see. Dreamcast guy said he was bad. Final Fantasy VII Remake, but I don't know. I ain't played it. It's a good game. It's a good game, and the Nintendo Switch 2 version is good. They're great. 44 people watching now. Let's go. We've got a lot of stuff that we're covering today. I like it. Thank y'all for being here. I have seen more people pick it up. Pikmin 1, 2, Link's Awakening, Brothership, DKCR returns. Yeah. Charlie Smith to play the demo. Looks good. Good. I have all the Final Fantasy titles available for Switch. Heck yeah, AJ Rax. That's awesome. That is cool to hear. I'm hoping Xbox releases the date for Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. Yeah, so that, I mean, we know that that's coming to Switch too. South of Midnight. I'd like to see some South of Midnight gameplay. Paul Gale the Prophet. Pokemon Fan 34. You did. Yes. Yes. Numbers don't lie. Switch 1 sold 11 million in April 2024 to March 2025 fiscal year. Not everyone who wants Switch has. Yeah. Nintendo Switch 1 is still going to sell. And a lot of people that are fine with their Switch 1 will eventually want a Nintendo Switch 2. And I think it's going to be more than not. I think it's going to be a very good selling console. Yeah, Nintendo Switch still sold, once Nintendo Switch 2 was announced and out. Yeah, Jam Powers, he was looking at his brother. He was looking at Luigi. Mario Kart, Cyberpunk, boom. Okay. That was that. And then this is a little bit longer. I don't know what it'll be like if I run 2 audio at the same time.
Talking flower is blooming from the screen.
Maybe we'll mute the Xbox side of things for a bit. Should we do that? Okay. Unless if it's too crazy.
For me, what I remember most vividly are the inhabitants of Albion and the things you can do with them or to them.
The crazy thing about the classic Fable games was that in the middle
Unless if it just doesn't work.
was almost a complete other game where you could just mess around with the villages and towns.
From the Super Mario
Let's run 2 pieces of audio at the same time with me talking. So now, like I said, we're on fire today. This is a bigger stream than I thought. I was like, today's going to be a big stream thanks to the sales stuff. But we've got even more.
And if left alone,
sometimes it's nice to space out.
he'll talk on his own. Don't expect
2 days
him to hold a
after-
conversation, but
Is it weird for flowers to talk?
you never
2
know
days
what
after
he'll say.
Mario Day,
Bowser and his buds
we're
can't
getting the
get
Talking
cigarettes.
Flower, March 12th dropping.
By pressing this button,
Have you had lunch?
And now we're
yet?
watching
you
that.
can make him talk.
Make sure you're getting your veggies.
And the volume
Press
on
it a
it
whole
is
bunch.
higher than the
Thanks for
Xbox One.
sticking with me for so long.
And he'll share a special message.
FF16 on Switch 2 would be
Or hold the
cool.
button
South
when
of
you need a
Midnight
break.
being cool, yeah. Dank Meme Center X kind of wild. They waited 2 years to drop Amiibo for
enjoy
Wonder.
some alone
Yeah,
time.
we're gonna look at that too.
Plus,
Morning.
If you set a wake-up time
Minero Amiibo, we need that.
Night-night.
or a bedtime,
Paladin Paul
he'll
is
share his
multitasking
thoughts.
master. That's right.
What'll I dream about tonight?
You can rest easy knowing you'll
Wonder,
stay
March
quiet at
26th.
night.
Yeah, that's right.
Perfect weather for a nap, huh?
There are even phrases based on the time of
We've
day.
got the flower, March 12th.
10 a.m.
Mario
You can
Wonder
tell the
Update,
time,
March 26th.
but
Wait,
Mario Wonder
9
Amiibo,
a.m.
March
he's not
26th.
always the most reliable.
9 a.m.
That's not all though.
Cooler today, huh?
Talking Flower can also sense the room temperature
Batteries are almost dead.
and let you know when his juice is running low.
What are batteries anyway?
Plus, this.
Wonder!
In music mode, he'll shout Wonder and a familiar tune will play. And by pressing the button, you can make him chime in.
Tamagotchi Life
You can even
is
choose
a
from
must-have
11
title for me.
languages
That's a
for
big
him to
one coming
speak.
out to Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2. And we got another gifted membership, this time from Paul Gale Network.
From the
Thank you,
screen to
PGN,
your home,
for
Talking
contributing to the
Flower's
stream.
here to brighten your day.
JF,
Talking Flower
the
launches
artist,
March
was the
12th.
recipient.
You can
Well,
purchase Talking
JF, the
Flower
artist,
on My Nintendo Store
welcome on
or
in.
other retailers nationwide. Pre-orders begin later today on My Nintendo Store and at select retailers.
And that's how it works in our game too. Everything you do earns you a reputation. And every person in Albion will have a different reaction to you as a result.
Hello there.
Yeah, we get it. You're rich.
They'll remember things you did directly
Sorry.
to them.
Um,
They'll love you
I got distracted there. PGN, thank you for the gifted membership. That's pretty neat. That's pretty nice.
Our game will never judge you, but the people of Albion will, loudly.
Switch 2 is selling well the last 6 months. November even selling well just by getting second. Yeah, still a good second.
And you are going to make a lot of them. Big choices, little choices, moral choices, and some choices that will actually change the landscape of Albion for the rest of your game. We call this idea, Your Choices Change the World. Let's give you an example.
Early in the game, you'll meet a character named Dave, an
What do you think of the
egotistical
Nitro deck,
gardener in a rural
Dan Flanagan?
village who discovers a magical
I don't
growth
have
formula.
one, but
He accidentally
if it
turns himself
helps
into a
you
giant
with
and becomes a big problem.
ergonomics,
It'll
go
be your
for it.
job to deal with him, and ultimately it will be
I've
your
heard
choice
positive
whether
things.
to kill him or to spare him. If you kill him, his giant corpse will lie on the farmland just outside of town for the rest of the game.
And that is going to affect house prices. It will also affect what a lot of the villagers think about you.
Especially Dave's sister.
Let me get the next thing.
In Fable, the choices
Roll,
you make
okay.
will define you. What does being a hero mean to you?
At Playground Games, we've built a
New
pedigree
Fable,
for
which
beautiful, immersive, open-world experiences.
Cool to see.
Yes, they've typically involved sports cars, but this is a passion project for all of us here. Every member of this team, which we've built from scratch, has two key things in common: a deep love for the franchise and a burning desire to bring it back. We're making this for Fable fans just like us, but also to introduce Fable to gamers who've never played the series before. It's been great to finally tell you a little about the game we're making.
Okay. Next up, what we're looking at. Man, I don't even know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. We've got the Mario Wonder Amiibo. Look at this guy. Look at the detail on Elephant Mario. He's barely fitting in the warp pipe, just like he barely fits in the game. I think this looks great. Don't forget, we're also getting the Super Mario Galaxy Amiibo tie-in with Mario and Rosalina with the Lumas and the rockin' chair and like the whole shebang. Those look so cool. But we're also getting Elephant Mario. We're also getting Captain Toad and the Talking Flower. That looks fantastic, dude. I need those two. And we've got Poplin and Prince Florian. I think he looks good, or they look good as a pair. These three come out March 26th, the day of the Super Mario Bros. Wonder update. / Super Mario Bros. Wonder Nintendo Switch 2 edition. More accurately. I'm just more annoyed that they can't Perfect Dark. Me too, Dank Meme Center X. Man, when you want to watch a real gaming reaction from someone who loves Perfect Dark, you check out my reaction to Perfect Dark being shown off at, what was it, Summer Game Fest or the Game Awards back in like 2020 or something. I lit up. I knew. Laptop gun. Data dime. This is Perfect Dark. Woo! And it was. And along the way, I kept being more hyped. And then just canceled out of nowhere. What a shame. What a darn shame. Okay, that's it for the Xbox Direct. Let's move this back up here. Bloop. Wait, I had more. Oh, hold on. Bloop. Got a lot of stuff today. Hold on. Although some of this stuff is older now, that we're okay. Okay. Later, everyone, hopping over to Tabby Cat Games stream. Oh, if Tabby Cat Games, if you're still here, drop your link. Drop your link so we could put you up here, get you some attention. That wasn't much of nothing. Where did you get that Samus statue? I need one like yesterday. Dan Flanagan. This beautiful Samus Aran statue is from First Four Figures. Here, I'll type it out just in case. First Four Figures. Fantastic company. That's the Samus from them. The Mario and Luigi is from, or sorry, the Mario on Yoshi's from them. That Hylian shield is from them. That Majora's Mask. That Banjo and Kazooie. That Link on the King of Red Lions is from them. First Four Figures is excellent. But yeah, that Samus Aran is from First Four Figures. South Park Snow Day on Switch, good. I have the Fractured But Whole and the Stick of Truth. I don't have Snow Day, but I think it's solid. Let's see. Okay, that's the Amiibo thing, right? So we went over the Amiibo. The Prince, Toad, Elephant Mario. We went over Lego Mario, specifically adding Lego Luigi. We went over the Talking Flower. We didn't watch this, and I don't think we have to necessarily, but this is an overall look at Bella Bell Park, coming March 26th, that update. Meet up in Bella Bell Park. New courses, all 7 Koopalings, 2 new playable characters, that's cool, Rosalina and Co-Star Luma. You could use Co-Star Luma in a second player, even in mouse mode. Doesn't take any damage. You could also play in assist mode. That doesn't take any damage for that player. We talked about Mario Kart World. Team battles have come to Knockout Tour. Talked about that earlier. We did our hardware sales and our software sales for United States and Japan. Here, let's check out Tabby Cat and her stream in the moment. Oh, I can't. Oh, I have to do it like this. Hold on. Starting soon.
different program today, and that is just a little different for me. So if things seem off, they probably are. Everybody hear me now? I can hear myself. Well, I would try a different program today just to kind of see how it goes. Thank you, Paul Gale. I was watching your stream and setting up at the same time. I didn't know anyone told you I was live. I thought y'all'd be watching the Xbox stuff. Alright. I gotta give a huge thumbs up to Paul Gale Network. He has been a huge supporter of my stream, and I very much appreciate you, sir. And if you all are not a brown belt, you all really should apply and subscribe for his brown belt. The benefits far outweigh the cost. And it's really not that bad. It's only $10 a month, guys. Y'all really ought to throw in a little bit there.
Okay, hold on. I'm going. I'm now going back and forth. I'm helping out Tabby's stream by giving her some attention up on here, talking in her chat to the folks that are there that were just here a moment ago, like Steak 1024. Roger Enyart is there as well. Let's see.
A little low.
Let me get back to our chat. Okay. See, we're doing everything today. This is a mega stream. Hello, so I take it y'all watched the Xbox showcase. Yeah, Tall Show. So how about that inside Nintendo HQ? That look, thanks to Game Freak. Definitely sticking with Nintendo this year. CBH, yeah. Nintendo is crushing it. Do you realize that all of this is before the February Nintendo Direct?
Get stuck watching everyone else.
This is amazing. Probably in 3 to 4 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks, we're gonna have
Oh yeah, I pre-ordered that talking flower.
a Nintendo Direct.
Just so you know.
The year's already packed. Resident Evil Requiem, Pragmata, Dragon Quest VII Remake,
So let's see what we can get into
Yoshi and the
today.
Mysterious Book. Dude, that's all before a Direct.
Yeah, I haven't thought about Fable
Does this
yet.
mode defeats the purpose of Yoshi and Nabbit roll? I mean, now it's like, yeah, everybody can do it. I'm watching both of y'all. Heck yeah, Charlie Smith. That's some good support right there.
Warriors? Or, I said Minerva. Minryu. I don't know where I got Minerva from. Yeah, I do. I was playing Fire Emblem.
I'm only gonna lower the volume on Tabbies because I still would like to support the channel and the stream, but not exit out. But also get back into what else do we have to cover. Today we will have another gaming history video. This one is from yesterday, which I think I showed everybody on stream. Did I? If I didn't, let's watch it. Hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm the only cop left alive in this building. Plus, I have to let everyone know that today in gaming history, January 21st, 1998, Resident Evil 2 launched for the Sony PlayStation in North America. Watch one more time. I'm not going anywhere. I'm the only cop left alive in this building. Plus, I have to let everyone know that today in gaming history, January 21st, 1998, Resident Evil 2 launched for the Sony PlayStation in North America. You know me. I throw Easter eggs into these gaming history shorts. This one was a line straight out of Resident Evil 2 that Leon S. Kennedy said in the game. Okay, so we did that. We did this. We went over the Metroid Prime 4 Beyond deal. North American NPD charts from Matt Piscatella, Blue Sky, talking about the U.S. hardware. We went over Japan's sales. Let's see, I have it right here too. Looking good. Talked about Final Fantasy VII Remake on Nintendo Switch 2. Good, good. We went over yesterday's short. Boom, boom. We watched the Xbox Developer Direct. Boom, boom. We're helping out Tabby and her stream. Liking her stream. Boom! We got 11 new members today. SS4 Moogle saying, good afternoon, Paul. What do you think of Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch 2? I'm going to get to that in just a moment. 1 second.
It seems I've improved.
Okay. Okay. Just so that we could help out here, but also talk. What do I think so far of the FF7 remake on Nintendo Switch 2? I think it's fantastic. I played... So I didn't pick up FF7 remake instantly on PlayStation 4. I bought it on, or for, alongside with, whatever you want to say it, PlayStation 5. So the game came out like in summer of 2020. PS5 came out that November. I bought it when PS5 came out, so I was experiencing it initially kind of like at, well, PS4 Pro optimized levels, and then some, I guess. And then like playing also the integrated version, the improved stuff later for PS5. So I got my fair share of it. But then, I should say, I got Rebirth, played that, haven't beat that one though, to be fair, to be honest. But I had my fair share of Remake. Loved it. Actually, I like Remake more than Rebirth. But then again, like I said, I haven't beaten Rebirth yet, so that might change. But I love Remake. And then when I found out this is coming to Nintendo Switch 2, I was like, dude, I have to get it. It's the significance of it coming to Nintendo platform, and also it just looks great, and I know it's an awesome game. And it's only $40. And it comes with the OG version, which I had. And it comes with a pack of cards. And Best Buy was like, here, you can buy it for a little bit off, and here's another $10 certificate that you could use before the end of the year. Like, dude, so I'm getting the game for like $25? Okay. With all this other stuff, let's do it. Let's do it. I liked the demo a few weeks ago. So fun. The game itself, though, totally is delivering. I fired up the PS5 version last night, had that running on one HDMI, the Nintendo Switch 2 version on another HDMI, and I was playing them both, you know, like pause, switch over, pause, play. 17 feet away, just sitting on the couch watching it. Nothing overly distinguishable of a difference that makes one negative or one positive. They're both really good. Yeah, the PS5 version is running at a little bit of a higher frame rate and resolution, so there's a small difference, but when you're playing, you're still playing the same game, and on Nintendo Switch 2, most importantly, it is a great game. The voice acting, the cool characters, the combat system, the music, the sound effects, the story, the overall ambiance, the feeling of Midgar is all peak. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it all over again. The loading, very minimal. It's smooth. 30 frames per second, 40 frames per second. I don't know. I'm not frame counting. I can't frame count live and be like, oh, yep, that's clearly 60. Oh, that's 45. I can't do that. But smooth. The resolution, not blurry. I'm not going up to each wall and being like, oh, is that texture a little bit off? No, I'm going around playing, and I'm playing as you freaking play a game. I'm not playing the game to find and point out anything like, oh, let me look at this ladder right here. Oh, that ladder's a little bit blurry. No, I'm playing the game to have fun, and it's fun, and it looks awesome. It looks really good. I see some pictures online, people being like, oh, look at this mountain zone on the PS5 version X versus Nintendo Switch 2 version. Isn't that one more smeared than this one? To be fair, I haven't beaten the game on Nintendo Switch 2 yet, so I haven't seen every area, and there could be areas, and like, will I say it if there honestly is that some areas from afar look different or not good? If it happens, it happens, but it hasn't happened yet. I'm not looking for it. I won't be blind to it if it exists, though, but just playing the game, it looks beautiful. And going back and forth, I'm like, it looks good on both. It is a good game on both, and it runs smoothly on both. But I was never a frame rate picker kind of person. To me, smooth 30 is just as good as a smooth 60. Almost. I mean, a smooth 60 is better, but I have no qualms with smooth 30, you know? Yeah. It's terrific. If you've never played a Final Fantasy game, this is an easy one to hop into. It's a cast you'll like. It's a crew you'll fall in love with. It's an area that you'll always remember. It's music that will hit you. And it's got more to come later on in the game. And it's not even much. It's not even a costly one. It's $40. And it comes with the OG. And you could go back and forth and be like, wow, did they do a lot? No, dude, it's awesome. Really good stuff. Oh, wait, is Hyrule Warriors on Xbox Direct? No. Good afternoon, Paul. Okay, that's the one I got to. SS4 Moogle. Final Fantasy VII Remake on Nintendo Switch 2 being awesome. Kind of need to get an express card since I had to recycle Madden and WWE 2K26 to fit on the system, so that's when I'll tap into Remake. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see what this is. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, I didn't have to close that. I could have just... Wait, hold on. What am I doing? Oh, I'm looking for this. Wait. I thought something else popped up. I guess I could have just minimized. Oh, well. That's okay. Where was I? Sorry. Multitasking a lot. Trying to keep everything here. Yeah. Yeah. That 256 gigabyte size on Nintendo Switch 2. I knew from the beginning, though that's a lot more than 32 on NS, dude, the games are going to be so much bigger. They are bigger. That's going to get eaten up very quickly. I was fortunate enough to be given one of these Lexar 1 terabyte cards, and I didn't load up all of my Nintendo Switch library, but all of it is accessible. But I don't know if... that's a little bit of an experiment. Because I have a 1 terabyte card on my Nintendo Switch, but it's not 100% full. I wonder if, right now, could my Nintendo Switch 2 micro SD Express card fit all of my Nintendo Switch games and all of the titles I currently have on Nintendo Switch 2? Maybe. Maybe not. It depends on how much of that old NS micro SD XC card did I fill up. Because I've had Nintendo Switch for, getting close to 9 years now. It's a lot of games in that time. It's a lot of play. Far more physical than digital, but some games are entire digital releases, Yeah. But the 1 terabyte card, I did not buy myself. that is like a $220 value that I was given, and worth it for the convenience. But to buy it on your own, oof, you're looking at half the cost of the console in this little piece of plastic microchip. You know, come on now. By the way, we've got 50 people watching here. If anybody is in the chat now that wasn't here earlier that would like me to go over some of the things, I certainly could do so. We went over a lot today. We did Mario Kart Lego. We went over the new Mario Amiibo, the new Super Mario Bros. Wonder update, the new Mario Kart World update. We went over the Famitsu sales in Japan for the last week, the United States sales for the month of December. We visited a friend of the channel, Tabby Cat Games, and her stream to help support her channel going live right now. We've been talking Final Fantasy VII Remake. Got a lot done today. And I didn't have to cut the stream short, which was one of the things that I didn't know would I have to do or not. But yeah, I feel you, Dank Meme Center X, on the space. Gosh, early on, I was already running into it. I'm like, dude, I've got Mario Kart World and Split Fiction and Street Fighter 6, and I'm already pushing it, you know. Add to that a couple of the old school games. Yeah. And then, you know, the summer only continued with Donkey Kong Bonanza was physical, but Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 was digital. Welcome Tour, Fast Fusion, the DLC for Kirby, the DLC / Nintendo Switch 2 editions of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I had to buy WWE 2K25 or 26, whatever the title, because it was $10. It was $10. Sometime between Black Friday and Christmas, Walmart had it for $10, and I was like, or 10 or 15. I forgot which, but it was so cheap I had to get it, and I like it. It was worth it. And I downloaded the Madden 26 demo, and I was like, that's actually pretty good. It's good. I won't buy it right now. I think it's, instead of 70, like 40 or something. But when this game drops to like $10 because Madden NFL 27 comes out and nobody wants this one anymore, I'll probably pick it up for like $10 because it's good. You know, a locked in 30 on FF7. Given they wanted close visual parity, they opted for consistent 30 frames per second, which is nice. Variable frames per second. Hertz RPGs. JViews. Hey Paul. Hey JViews. Welcome. Dank Meme Center X. The cinematography is what sells this iteration of Final Fantasy. Yeah, the game is supposed to look and run better on PS5. So when people say that, I'm like, duh, it's full on console compared to a hybrid handheld that runs under 20 watts. I mean, like, dude, well, the best I could do is like a Wii U and an Xbox One X. But y'all know how big a Nintendo Switch 2 is? It's this big. It's this big. It's this big. That's a Nintendo Switch 2. Not even the Joy-Cons, right? With the Joy-Cons, okay, it's this big. This much volume, that much surface area that you're looking at right now is a TV, a cable from a console to the TV, a cable from the console to the wall for the electricity, 2 controllers, and a system itself. That's value. And you could play it on a TV with a dock that is this big that just transmits the data, or take it on the go and play it like this, or with a kickstand, play it like this. And you all know what I mean by it's a TV, right? You could take that out of the dock, put it on its kickstand, take 2 controllers, and have 2 people playing on an 8-inch TV in front of you. It's its own power source. It's its own HDMI. And it's making games look that good on a 1080p screen. My gosh, is that amazing. That's the thing that still amazes me today of Nintendo Switch. When it came out a few years after PS4 and Xbox One, those were this big. They were this big. far larger in size, far thicker in mass, denser, heavier, needing a wire to go to the wall, a wire to go to the TV. Yeah, when you got this much space to fill junk with it, it's going to be more powerful. It's going to take up more electricity. There's going to be more room for RAM and hard drives and SSDs and all that junk. Nintendo Switch was this big, and it was playing Doom and Wolfenstein 2 right alongside its competitors. And Nintendo Switch 2 now, it's against the Xbox One X, Xbox Series X, right? This big ol' thing. And the PlayStation 5, right? This big ol' thing. Compared to this. No, it's gonna look better. But you can't take that thing and just stick it on your coffee table and play it, or take it easily, boop, in the car, go, boom. No internet needed. The haters just hate just to hate. There really isn't a need to. You could like things more than another thing without hating on something. You know what I'm saying? Man, it's amazing. It's close enough, doesn't stink at all, and is actually quite good. JV is still waiting for my copy of FF7 to come in the mail, lol, but I have, we have Mio to enjoy at the time being. That's cool. They ain't cheap though. Yeah, $450. But you know what? How much would a Wii and a Nintendo DS cost? If you wanted all of what Nintendo had to offer in that generation, you'd be spending $400. $250 for a Wii, $150 for a DS. $400. Back in 2004/2006. Price adjusted, that costs more. How much would you pay if you wanted all that Nintendo had to offer during the Wii U 3DS era? $300, $250, so $550? Okay, that's more. How about GameCube and Game Boy Advance? $350? Okay, less, but in an era that with inflation, more close than you think. How about a Nintendo 64 and a Game Boy Color? $300? Super Nintendo and a Game Boy? $300? If you wanted to experience all of Nintendo per generation, not since the original Nintendo Entertainment System could you have done so by only buying one system per gen until Nintendo Switch. So even Nintendo Switch 2 at $450, I would say is a good deal because Nintendo outputs a lot. They do give a lot. Look at how much more Nintendo created for their own console in NS versus Sony or Microsoft created for their PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, or Xbox Series. It's not to hate on the others. It's just Nintendo operates a little bit differently. They rely slightly more on themselves than third parties. With Nintendo Switch 2, we're seeing a lot on both ends, which is proving to be very, very good. Hello, says Z-Teener. Do you think Nintendo deliberately made a slow start for Switch 2 game-wise? I don't think it's a slow start. Off the bat, in the first 7 months, we got Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Pokemon Legends ZA, Kirby Air Riders, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Dragon Drive, Welcome Tour, Donkey Kong Bonanza, and Mario Kart World. 8 first-party published games in 7 months. Now, not every one of those is an absolute banger, but Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Kirby Air Riders, those 4 are great games exclusive to the system, with Metroid Prime 4 Beyond and Pokemon Legends ZA being further optimized for the system. Welcome Tour and Dragon Drive being smaller. I don't think it's been a slow start at all, personally. SS4 Moogle, I missed the sales data. Basically, Nintendo Switch 2 was the best-selling console of the month of December and the overall year of 2025 in the United States, selling over 4.4 million units in the US, in those 7 months, doubling how fast Nintendo Switch did in its first 7 months, 35% faster than PS4 did in its first 7 months. The fastest selling home console ever in the US, only second to Game Boy Advance, which is the overall fastest selling piece of hardware ever in the United States. And in Japan, Nintendo Switch 2 dominated, over 60,000, followed by Nintendo Switch, and then PS5, and then Xbox Series. Nukem Nintendo. I just uploaded a video about this. What I'm curious about are the sales for Kirby Air Riders and Donkey Kong Bonanza. That's going to be exciting. In like 2 weeks, we get that data from Nintendo, like February 4th-ish or so. It's going to be cool. Daymape Center X, $15. Yeah, okay, for that WWE one. Yeah, worth it. The easiest digital-only box I have. Yeah, like I have the box, and I'm like, I'm actually glad it's a box. More convenient than the game key card. You know? Actually, Final Fantasy VII Remake is the first game key card I own on the system. I really hope Nintendo bundles Donkey Kong Bonanza and Kirby Air Riders. Those are two of the most fun games on Nintendo Switch 2. They deserve their own bundle. Like with the console, you mean? Interesting. I think the most underrated game on the Nintendo Switch 2 is Age of Imprisonment. That's a great one. Cap's Paranormal. Hi, Paul. Have you picked up FF7 yet? Today's the day, right? You know, for me, I've been playing this since yesterday. I got it in the mail yesterday. Been playing it last night, switching between FF7 Remake and Ghost of Yote. I love it. So freaking good. You could play it on your lunch break with a friend with just kickstand and Joy-Cons. Absolutely. Doom on Switch 2 is great. Don't know how they did it, but 30 frames per second feels smooth on that game. It really does. I had a great time with Doom on Nintendo Switch. No complaints from me. Looked great. Ran smooth. It's fine. Aaron Cedillo, hey. The haters hate because of their consoles. Yeah. Whenever someone's console that they chose, sports team, what have you, is not doing as well and the other side is getting more attention, it makes you hate on that thing that you didn't pick as your own. A lot of people do that. I love Doom and Doom Eternal on Switch 1. Now I'm waiting for Doom the Dark Ages on Switch 2. That'd be good. Yep. I love the mouse functionality on Nintendo Switch 2. Really hope we get RTS games like Command & Conquer, Warhammer 40k, Dawn of War. That'd be good. I might double dip for Dark Ages when it comes to Switch 2. It was excellent on PS5. Got it on sale when it's 50% off. That's a good deal. Switch 2 is perfect for real-time strategy games. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a PS fan, but I haven't played one since PS2, but that statement is extreme. There is room for all these systems. Extreme saying that, okay, Prime 4 seems to have done really well. Yeah, Zapkin. Physically and digitally in Europe and the US. The only weak point is Japan, I guess. You know, I made a comment in December that according to a certain source, up until a certain date, early December, the Japanese market and its sales made up less than 5% of the overall total of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond sales. So I quickly looked at what we knew from Japan for the Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch versions of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I had to approximate a little bit of what I thought the digital might be, use this roughly 20x multiplier, and was like, yeah, this game's like 900 to 1.2 million easily. Boom. And that was based off of some earlier data of less than 5%, in which, what's less than 5? Well, 2 is less than 5, but probably my source would have said, something closer to 2 if it was 2. Less than 5, I'm thinking like maybe it was like 4 point something. But that's earlier. And the game never stopped being on top of the eShop charts. Not for a long time. It continued in the Amazon charts for a while. And now we're seeing proof in the pudding. Now we're seeing my source, my analysis, corroborated with Matt Piscatella's data from the month. And we're going to see something pretty good from Nintendo. How good? I don't know, because I don't have another update. But could the game already be a couple million seller? Absolutely. Metroid Prime 4 is great. I generally think people forget how bare it was during the 3DS and Switch launch allotment in the 6 months. They are so plugged online that they get caught up in the nonsense of gaming. Day one, it was just Breath of the Wild with smaller niche games until late April for a Wii U port. Then you had ARMS, which was a Risk of a Fighter, and Splatoon 2 was my beacon. I mean, the first 10 months of Nintendo Switch, gosh. Breath of the Wild kicking things off. We had a Bomberman game, so we were getting some third-party support right away. We had Snipper Clips, which was fun. As a huge Street Fighter guy, we had Ultra Street Fighter 2, the Final Challengers. Not too long after, we had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. We had ARMS. We had Splatoon 2. Doom. Super Mario Odyssey. Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Like, Nintendo Switch was just on fire, man. First 10 months, first year, first couple of years. Dude, the whole gen was terrific. What a great system. Caps Paranormal. We kind of did get similar treatment in years past. Twilight Princess came out on GameCube and Wii, and we did get the Zelda Switch games on launch at 1440p, 60 frames per second, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Fan bases to say the same thing. Yep. Metro Prime 4 is my game of the year. That's cool, J Biggs. And my favorite game since Tears of the Kingdom. I understand problems. Metro Prime 4 was excellent. 9.5 for me. I loved it. Some of the things that people complain about didn't bother me at all. Some of the things that people had issues with, I'm like, okay, I could have benefited a little bit more from this, but music, ambiance, the graphics, the gameplay, the leveling up of Samus on this journey, the overall power-ups, the voice acting, the characters, the navigating, the map design, the cinematic flair. Loved it all. Couple of little things. Okay, yeah. But it's not a bad game at all. People who said that just didn't play it, just lying. Or if someone truly played it the whole way through, not 100%ing it necessarily, just played like the whole game, and came out with the impression, this game sucks. 1 being awful, 10 being amazing, 5 being mediocre, so they're giving it like a 3. I just think you've got a warped sense of what's a good game versus what's not. I could get not liking it as much as me. I could get if someone says, yeah, it was good. It was good. It's not for me. It's like a 7. I'd be like, all right, I understand. But even a 5, yeah, totally mediocre. I'm like, so where do you place your value in graphics and sound design and music and quality of voice acting and level design and artistry? Because even if you thought it's not for me in terms of gameplay or being a first person primarily type of title or fun factor, enough of these merits and enough of like what you hated, I don't even think it's a 5. I think that wouldn't it be higher than not? Unless you truly hated the gameplay, then I don't know. Some people. That's why if I had more time, I would review all the games that come out consistently. And I would put either what I did with a review crew, having a panel of 2 or 3 or 4 of us talking about a game, or just me if I had to go solo, and give you a 1-hour video to watch. A company would give me the game a month in advance. I'd be able to play it. The game would come out. My review would come out the day of the game or the day before. People would watch it, and I'd give you my honest analysis from beginning to the end without spoilers and my score and the justification behind it. And boom. And you'd get honest, good quality reviews. And if there was a bias towards something of like, I am an established fan of this franchise, you would know. And if it's, I am new to this IP, I'm going in kind of blind, you would also know. But you would get an honest review of the game. And I would love to do it, but I don't have the time, nor do I have, dozens of developers sending me codes, giving me games a month in advance to say like, hey, just go ahead, take your time, Paul. Don't rush through it. Have a month to play the game. Drop your review one day before. Go for it. It's not the thing. It's not the way it is, you know. But yeah, the way some people review games just doesn't make any sense. Too inconsistent. Can we talk about how high value and awesome the GameCube NSO already is? Yeah, I've been playing the heck out of Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, really good one, and Wario World, another fun one. F-Zero GX and Wind Waker are great too. Yeah, you said it. There's a reason why GameCube will not end up having as many games as Nintendo Entertainment System, SNES, N64, but it will have, you know, a few dozen in the end, and it will be some pretty good value. I don't know if Nintendo adds another game to the expansion pack tier without either increasing the price or just making another tier, making a third tier. Because if you add in something like Sega Game Gear, Sega Saturn, or Sega Dreamcast, or Nintendo DS, that's going to add a lot. We're already getting Virtual Boy next month. That's pretty sweet. But yeah, expansion pack is a good value. Welcome back, Pokemon Fan 34. Zebakin 11. Mitch Bagel, hello. Hello there. Zebakin says, my only issue with Nintendo is they keep releasing new Amiibo. When they announced the 3 new ones for Wonder this morning, my wallet cried so bad. I have every one so far I have to buy. Well, is that their fault or is that your fault for liking them? They're cool. You don't gotta buy them. Don't have to buy them. But I know what you mean. Like, I'm happy that they come out, honestly. As a kid, dude, it would have been awesome if there was a collection, a series of equivalent of Amiibo as a Mario little minifigure, a Link one, a Zelda one, a Donkey Kong one, something from Samus, Star Fox, a Fox McCloud, Arwing. You know, it would have been really cool. Now that line does exist. They are more expensive than they were 11 years ago, but they're also better, bigger, made of more plastic, heavier. Even though you can't afford them, you still gotta get them. Yeah. Paul, did you hear about Gene Park? Yeah. His cancer came back. I did not like that. I did not like hearing that, you know. Gene and I, we follow each other mutually on X, and, you know, he's a good person. And I like hearing his views on gaming and in general, you know, talking with him, hearing what he has to say. So that's really rough. I definitely hope he comes through, gets the proper treatment, and that he will be okay in the end, because that's not fun. Sending him the best, definitely. Metro Prime 4 is a disappointing 10 out of 10. It's perfect for a Prime game, but disappointing compared to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, DK Bonanza, and Kirby Air Riders, games that are beyond great. So you love it, but not as much as some other topper tier ones. Got it. Paul, did you play Metro Prime 4 Beyond in performance or quality? Quality. A little bit in performance, just to see. Okay, and then quality for the rest of it. Like, I didn't need the extra smoothness in 120. For me, 60 was butter, and I want to like crank up the visuals for me. I want this optimized, you know. David says, I am curious to see what Metro Prime 5 can be like. I feel with a better design / idea from the start, and Retro having their staff fully built up, it should be better than Prime 4. I agree. I think that picking this developer from the get-go, let's do it, we were going to get something magnificent. Call it November 2030, Metro Prime 5. Yeah. No Nintendo Switch version to hold it back in terms of bottlenecking. Fully expressed ideas, taking complete advantage of this new hardware. They'll have more mastery, more sense of understanding the system. I hope that we could get more than 2 Retro Studios titles this gen. Like, I would love to see Retro with a brand new, fresh, original IP and a Metroid Prime 5. You know? Come on. Give me 3 games this gen, please. Either a new original IP would be cool. Doing something with a beloved classic that needs some help, like Star Fox. One of those 2, and a Metroid. By the way, I'm going to have to wrap it up, but let me read these real quick. I said I was going to have to go, but it ended up taking longer before I had to go. But I do have to go now. I realize it is getting a little bit later. Considering how popular the GameCube is, then I'm gonna standard. Also beat Wario World and Fire Emblem. Pokemon Coliseum, Gale of Darkness, Amiibo Collection would be crazy. They would be expensive to get all of them. Working on a video about Kirby. Sorry. Okay, hold on. I'm trying to read through the comments. Almost caught up. Some I'm not reading out loud, but I'm reading through. About Gene, yeah. VG charts posted Euro Switch 2 sales. Oh, you know what? Let's check out that VG charts while we're talking about sales today. On yeah, I like VG charts. They've got Nintendo Switch 2 at 16.09. Oh, and their December they have Japan at 1 million, North America 1.1 million. 807K here. So, yeah, without the other countries and stuff like that, they're at like 16. What did I say from the very beginning? 16 to 17.5. Are they accurate? Close enough? We'll see. So, yeah, we're getting close. Thank you for sharing that. Tanabe retired. Yeah. Captain Toad is the coolest. Oh, he looks so good. Okay. Woof. Dang, we crammed in a lot today. Thank you so much for being here. I was able to stay on longer than I thought, which is terrific, but I do have to go. Yes, I will be on tomorrow, Mitch Biggle. Hope you all have a great rest of your day. I will be back Friday morning. More video game talk. Friday afternoon / evening, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time for the podcast. Take care.